I'm going to show you how I put together a really easy loaded baked potato soup. So right here I'm going to use about a good tablespoon of the bacon that I already fried. I'm going to put that in there, and I'm also going to put a stick of butter in here to get heated up and melted, because I'm going to fry my onions and garlic in the butter and bacon grease. So while that is melting, I want to show you, I've got onions and garlic here. I've got flour. I've got, well, it's a half a cup of flour because I got a stick of butter, half a cup of butter. I've got 2 cups of milk, 3 cups of chicken broth, and I'll probably add a little water in there too. I've got 4 beautiful baked potatoes that I've peeled and cut up. And then I've got bacon that I fried earlier in the other pan. And then I've got some cheese and a little sour cream. And that's about all. Some spices, parsley, and salt and pepper. And that's what we're going to use in our soup. I can't do too many spices in here. Now you can spice yours up as much as you want. You don't want your butter to burn, but you do want to get it good and melted. And good and hot, because you're going to cook your onions and your garlic in here. You can even add a little celery. If you don't have celery, you can use a little celery salt or celery seed. I'm not using any celery though, not in this. So, okay. We are going to scrape our onions and our garlic right on in here. And we're going to give that a little whisk, because we want to cook those till they're translucent. And wow, that is pungent, the garlic and the onion. And that little bit of bacon grease in there is going to give it some fantastic flavor. So we're going to let those cook for about 2 minutes. I got onions on the stove. We're going to just let these saute in this butter for about 2 minutes till they're good and translucent. Get the rest of our stuff ready. We'll be putting our milk until afterwards, but anyway. So I'm going to just let those cook a little bit, about another minute or so, and I'll be back. Friends, I'm back. And now that our onions have gone for a couple minutes, they're looking nice, we're going to slowly put our flour in here and whisk it in. And we want to cook that for a couple minutes too, to cook the flour out of it and brown it up a little. Cook that flour taste out. And this is going to be your good thickener for your soup. This is a roux right now. See that bubbling? We're going to let that go about another minute, minute and a half, and I'll be back. Friends, I'm back, and see how beautiful it's getting, nice and golden color. It's gorgeous. All the flour taste is cooked out of that. Alright, so with that, I've got 3 cups of chicken broth. I'm going to pour that in there. And also, I'm going to add 2 cups of water. Now this will thicken. We want to bring this to a good boil. And you need to stir this so that it don't burn to the bottom once it gets real good and hot. But we're going to bring this to a boil, because that is when it'll start to thicken. If your soup turns out runny, it's because you didn't boil it. So, and once we get it boiling, we're going to leave it to a low boil for about 5 to 7 minutes. And then it'll be thick. It'll thicken right up that way. This stuff will be wonderful. Okay, I'm just going to keep stirring this. So I don't want it to burn to the bottom, so I'm just going to keep slowly stirring it and bring it up to a boil. Once I get it to a boil, I'm going to boil it for about 5 minutes, and then I'll be back. Hey friends, you can see if it's not steaming up my camera, you can see that it's boiling really nicely. That's just a low boil, nothing ridiculous, but you're going to want this to go for about 5 to 7 minutes, and that's what you're looking for, because that's what will make your soup thicken, is that little bit of boiling. I'm going to turn it down even a little more. Now, see how nice it's getting, nice and thick. Okay, now while that's I'm still going to have to let it boil, but I'm also going to add the milk in here real slowly. And this is going to reduce the temperature, of course. But we can bring it back to a boil. Turn it back up a little bit. Bring it back to a boil, and then let it boil for a little bit. So keep pouring your milk in there nice and slow. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to let that build back to a boil. And then we'll only have to go for a few minutes after that once it reaches a boil again, and then we'll be able to put all our goodies in there. That's beautiful. All right. While we're bringing it up, I'm going to season mine up a little bit. I'm going to put a good, probably a teaspoon of, I've got some parsley in here. I'm going to do my pepper. Let's see. I'm going to do a good half teaspoon of pepper. I'm going to do a good, probably a good teaspoon of salt, because I didn't use any celery salt or anything else. So there we go. That's all I'm going to season mine with. Easy and simple. And all the rest of the flavors that I'm putting in there are just going to marry together with that and be delicious. So I'm going to bring that back up to a slow boil, and then when it gets to that point, I'll be back and we'll add the rest of our stuff. Okay friends, that come back up to a boil. See that boiling? We don't need to cook that anymore. Now we can turn this heat right down, and we can slowly add our potatoes in here. Carefully, it will splash. Just start mixing them around. We're also going to add in our bacon. I did reserve some for the tops, the garnish. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Okay, now I'm going to put about a half a cup of cheese in with this. Just because that's what everybody likes. Don't they? Mm-hmm. You waiting for soup? Mm-hmm. All right, friends. That's it. I'm just going to get ready now. Your soup is all done, and I'll show you how I plate it up and garnish it.
Hi.
Okay, we'll be back. Hey, friends. The soup, I'm ready to serve it up for dinner, so I'm going to put a little bit in this bowl. Got a nice bowl there. You can see okay. I'm going to put a little bit of bacon on the top of this. And I'm going to put a little bit of cheese. A little dollop of cheese on there. And I'm going to put a little dollop of sour cream on the top of that. And to that, I'm going to sprinkle just a little more parsley. And there is your wonderful dish of potato soup. Really easy, and it is budget friendly. So there you have it, friends. Thanks for watching. I'm going to enjoy dinner.